Hi, my sixth graders. I'm sorry that we can't be together in class today, but I want to take a little bit of time to talk to you about some ways that you can be successful this school year. This was a presentation that I gave to the A group earlier in the week, and I wish I was having this face-to-face conversation with you today, but we have to make do. So this year is not our typical school year. We started off in the hybrid model, and unfortunately this week we've been confined to virtual classes. But we want to kind of share with you some tips and tricks for making the most of what we are facing right now. And so let's start off with some ways we can be successful on our in-person days. Obviously, our time with you is very valuable. We only get you 2 days a week. So it's really critical in that time that you are paying attention in class, that you're putting forth your best effort, that you're awake and ready to go. If at any time things are confusing to you or you need help, please ask questions. And we're going to talk in a little bit about how we can seek help outside of the normal class time. When discussions are taking place in class, make sure you're participating. I know sometimes that can be uncomfortable for some students. Some of you like the smaller class sizes. For some of you, it makes you a little more uncomfortable. But remember, participating is not just raising your hand and answering questions. It's making sure that you're nodding when the teacher's asking. I know in my class, a lot of times I'll say, does that make sense? And if I see head shakes, it tells me that you're with me. Or if I see shakes that, no, that doesn't really make sense, I know I need to re-explain something. So you can participate with your body language just as much as you can with your voice. It's really important that you're following directions, particularly on assignments, whether they are in class or during your online virtual work. One thing that we've noticed is that some of you are struggling to follow project rubrics closely. Make sure that you're referencing back to what is being required for projects and assignments. And also with some of your online work, you're given the opportunity to take some of your assessments more than one time. Make sure if you don't score well the first time that you're going back and you're retaking those assessments as many times as you can, because ultimately your best score is what's going to be kept in PowerSchool. In the classroom, when the teacher tells you to write something in your agenda, it's important that you're pulling it out and you're doing so. You have 5 days until we see you face to face again. And so sometimes it's hard to remember all that was told to you about upcoming due dates and assignments, and that's where your agenda is going to come in really handy for you. Try to stay organized. You only have one binder this year as a requirement. It should be divided into sections for all 5 of your classes. And when you are given materials, most of our stuff will be electronic, but from time to time we will hand you things. Make sure you're taking the time to put them in the right section of your binder so that way you have them to reference later on. Great example, last week I gave you your safety guidelines for the 10 safety rules, and I've told you to study for an upcoming quiz that you're going to have. If you don't know where that sheet is, it's going to really be hard for you to study. If you put it in the science section of your binder, it's right there, easy for you to locate, and you're not wasting time trying to search for something. On those virtual days, I can't stress enough how important it is to create a schedule for yourself and stick to that schedule. I recommend sitting down and creating a to-do list for each of your classes, and I would follow right along with your schedule. So for example, if you are in science first period, I would open up my science course, I would write down in my agenda what is on the to-do list, and then I would take a look at my second course, write down what's to do in that course, and do that for all 5 of your classes. Then you'll have an idea of the big picture for the day and what you need to tackle to make sure that you get all your work done. Okay? When you're doing that, please also keep track of the due dates. A lot of your virtual day work is due that day by a certain time, and that varies from class to class. Some projects and assignments might extend for a couple of days, so make sure you're looking at the calendar due dates and noting those in your agenda for yourself as well. It's really important that you make sure you're getting on Schoology every single day when you're not in the classroom. We are tracking attendance, and we're doing that based on your attendance in class. Okay, so make sure that you're checking into every single one of those classes. Even if you think you completed your work ahead of time, teachers might add things. If something's going to be added, it will be added by 8 o'clock the morning of that day. So definitely want to jump in and check to make sure that just because, for example, I posted a project folder for 3 days doesn't mean on Friday I might not add something else in if I see that a lot of students are done, or if I realized maybe an added practice or support was needed. So definitely want to check into every single one of your classes on all of your virtual days. If you're struggling at all during those virtual days, please reach out for help. I can't stress the importance of that enough. If you don't ask, we don't know that you need our assistance, and that makes it tough for both of us. Make sure you're keeping up with your work. If you're following a routine and you're following a checklist and you're keeping track of due dates, you shouldn't be falling behind in your work. If you're finding that it's taking you an extended period of time to get work done in a particular class, reach out to that teacher and have a conversation with them. Maybe your workload needs to be modified a little bit, or maybe they can give you some pointers for navigating their course a little easier so you're not spending as much time trying to find the work that you need to complete. Okay. If you are having difficulties and you need help on those in-person days, in the morning before the announcements is a great time to see any one of us for help. We stand out in the hallway in the morning so that way you can come out to us and we don't have to worry about going into different cohorts. Use that time. Lunchtime is also a great opportunity where you can ask the teacher in your room for assistance. Of course, as long as you have your mask on during that time, we can come over and help you. On your virtual days, we are all available to you between 7:30 and 8:15 in the morning. And then you can always email or message us throughout the day on Schoology or through your email account, your school email account. Okay, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. When you come to school on your first in-person day, so for you guys that's on Thursdays, I'm going to recommend that first thing in the morning before announcements, you get on and you check your PowerSchool grades. It's a great time to check to make sure that you have completed all of your work leading up to that day. It's a great time to write down in your agenda any missing assignments that are posted in PowerSchool. If you have questions about your grades or you believe you turned something in and it's showing up as missing, that's also a good time to come out in the hallway and have that conversation with a teacher. During that time, you can work on assignments that you owe, or you could check Schoology for upcoming due dates, notifications, and also check your messages. We also recommend that you check your email. There could be messages in email. You want to make sure that you keep it cleaned out, that it doesn't get all bogged down with a bunch of notifications from Schoology. Okay? So those are all great things that you can do first thing in the morning when you come in to help yourself to stay organized on top of your work. We recognize that technology is not always our friend, and there can be some struggles with that. So 3 pretty simple tips. Number 1, if you're having problems, make sure that you shut down your iPad. This should get done at least once a week, but sometimes things don't load correctly, and just a quick hard shutdown and turn back on can resolve the issue. With Schoology, please, please, please use the web browser, not the app. We are finding that there are programs and videos that are not playing correctly in the app on your iPad. The web browser seems to be much more reliable. Everything is very visible there on the screen, and it's just a lot more user-friendly. So web browser before the app is going to be a big troubleshooting tip for you. Sometimes you do kind of just have to try at a later time, walk away from the assignment, or reach out to the teacher to let us know that something's not working or you're not seeing a new update. That was something we talked about the other day as well. I post a new update every day in the morning before 8 o'clock telling you exactly what you should be working on that day, the new little fun fact for the day. If you notice that that update didn't change from the previous day, there could be a technology issue there. It might be a mistake on my part. I would definitely reach out to me. There were some students last week who messaged me Sunday evening and said that their Schoology work had just came through for the previous week. And that's a little bit concerning because they should have been working on things Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I didn't hear of the issue until Sunday. So definitely reach out to us if things don't seem to be working correctly, or if you can't get around the issues with these couple troubleshooting tips here. Okay, we want you to be successful. We want this to be a good year for you. We're here for you. If you need help with organizing your work or figuring out what to do on those virtual days, finding the work in the folders, reach out to us. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a big change from what we're all used to, but I know you can be successful. It's just going to take a little bit of effort on everybody's part. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will hopefully see you very, very soon.